Hello, this is Onyx Coffee Reviews, and today we will be discussing the washed Ethiopia Terraform Propaganda from Onyx. And there's the box right there. And a little bit about this. So this was a collaboration with hip-hop artist Propaganda and coffee roaster Onyx. I have actually never heard of Propaganda before I had this coffee. And when I went and purchased this coffee, I just bought it because washed Ethiopia, that sounded really amazing from Onyx. So just bought it. Been trying to look into this coffee a little bit more to understand the collaboration, and I'm just going to read the little label right here. It says, the process of changing the environment of an inhabitable planet to make it able to support life. Prop and Onyx are coming together to encourage us all to build a livable world. Coffee was uniquely sourced, roasted, and defined in partnership with Propaganda. So different. I know Onyx does some collaborations with some people and some other coffee roasters, and it wasn't what sold me on this coffee, but looking into it a little bit more, and looking into Propaganda, it looks like he's very much into his coffee, and there's a lot of featured coffees on his website. So interesting concept. Didn't really influence me one way or another on anything that was involved in this coffee, but let's go ahead and dive right in and start talking about this coffee, because this coffee was a little interesting. Day 7 definitely was getting the grilled pineapple, and as I was writing down these notes, I was working on this coffee simultaneously with the washed Bensa Chantilly, which should already be featured on this channel. There was the idea of priming, that you were looking at something and you were kind of getting the impression that this is what you were tasting. And I definitely don't think that that was the case with this notion and idea of grilled taste to the coffee. If anything, it was, I don't want to say roasty, but like this kind of charcoal taste that was definitely there. And talking to people, a lot of people were kind of getting the same sort of sense about this coffee specifically. This is day 15, by the way. So I would say that that grilled pineapple note that they list on there, still getting some kind of that charcoaly grill. Not like roasty, but just, I think if you tried this coffee, you kind of understand what I'm saying. The grilled pineapple was the most forward thing. I wasn't getting too much, wasn't really understanding too much else. Day 9. Coffee was better. I was getting kind of pineapple with ripe melon notes. And day 11, I brewed it through the cone filter. It was bringing out some of the more nutty notes and tropical flavors. Definitely some kind of heavy candied nuts to finish this off. And now I get a little bit of kind of some nice berries. Definitely still a little like charcoal. It's like charcoal. Anyway, day 13, nothing was standing out too much. The citrus was coming through quite a bit. I do think it was better. I'm kind of wondering, maybe now that I think about this, if I ran it through an AeroPress, the coffee tastes better through the AeroPress. One important factor about this coffee, and I usually don't look this information up, is that this is an organic coffee. I've been told by one of my favorite coffee roasters once that they don't necessarily like organic coffees because it can take a little bit of the flavor away from the coffee in general. I'm going to pull up the tasting wheel so you can see exactly why I bring that comment up. Nothing on this tasting wheel goes above a 3 with the exception of the cleanliness. This is a very clean cup of coffee with almost no bitterness. But sweetness 3, acidity 3, saltiness 3, citrus 3, finish 3. Nothing blowing you away. Nothing that's hitting really, really high marks. And I don't want to attribute that to it being an organic coffee. I'm so used to washed Ethiopias having such, well, they can have both subtle and they can have really abundant flavors. But this one was kind of like caught in the middle ground, where the pineapple was the most prominent thing, but it was prominent in a subtle way, if that makes any sort of sense. Right there, I got some interesting orange, like I was smelling some oranges as I was drinking that coffee. You know what? This coffee, maybe it's a little bit more complex than I thought. Like very tangerine-y orange. Kind of interesting coffee. Who would I recommend this coffee to? I should actually think on this one real quick because I didn't think on it coming into it. A lot of people I've spoken with have been underwhelmed by this coffee. I always say I have such high expectations for Onyx, and maybe that's why I was slightly underwhelmed by this coffee as well. But I think that there's definitely some sort of market for it. I think somebody that may be a little bit more into their citrus Somebody that loves it. There you go. I found it. Somebody that loves a clean citric cup of coffee. Seems like a perfect fit for this, especially if you are opposed to the bitterness that can come in some cups of coffee. I don't know, this one was such a... drinking these washed Ethiopias side by side from Onyx has been a little bit of an interesting challenge because I have an expectation for Onyx, and neither of these coffees I really put in the box with what I know of Onyx. Not in a good or a bad way, just in a different way. But I would love to hear from you. If you've actually tried this coffee, please let me know what you thought of it as well, because yeah, this is one of those ones I don't think I necessarily figured out myself. If you enjoy this content, give it a like, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. But this right here has been a review of the Terraform Washed Ethiopia Propaganda collaboration from Onyx. Thank you for watching.